Different subject. Why does U.S. say nothing about Israel's nuclear weapons but leads an embargo against Iran's and discourages other Middle East countries from developing them for peaceful purposes?
Well, this is a very conscious double standard on the part of the United States since the time of JFK. Back in the early 60s, Kennedy, in fact, raised the issue of Israel's nuclear program with the then Prime Minister, David Ben-Gurion, and didn't make any progress. And since that time, successive presidents have made the following calculation. And you can argue with it, or you can accept it, but this is the calculation they've made. Because Israel is surrounded by enemies, some of which are dedicated to Israel's destruction, in order for Israel not to become a kind of crazy state, it's got to have something in its pocket that will protect it from ultimate destruction. Some of this has to do with a strategic calculation. Some of it, frankly, has to do with a post-Holocaust calculation. Israelis were very often telling me that even today, 60-plus years after the Holocaust, Israelis go to sleep with the Holocaust and wake up to the Arab-Israeli conflict. This idea of the imminence of conflict and danger posed to the state is with Israelis today. And American presidents have, in a sense, implicitly or explicitly recognized this by essentially not focusing on the Israeli nuclear program. The assurance that they've had, which is an assurance, you never know when it's going to be broken, but the assurance they've had is that Israel will not use nuclear weapons first, that it will truly be a reaction to a situation in which the existence of the state is called into question. And so that has been a policy of Democrats and Republicans ever since the early 1960s. And it is a double standard policy, but it's a policy that could change overnight if Israel found itself more secure and less concerned about its existence.